Joining us in the studio tonight is Maya Keeyana of Live and Love Boutique, who will be in conversation with community reporter Shanayah Wyche. Thank you, Maya and Shanayah, for joining us in the studio.
Hey everyone, it's your girl Shanayah here tonight in conversation with community trailblazer Maya Keeyana. Maya is a multifaceted educator, event curator, and entrepreneur. She is the host of the Art Exhibit podcast, an extension of the collective art album. She hosts several events, including the Live, Love, Create experience, and she is the owner of Live and Love Boutique. Glad you could join us tonight, Maya. Me on the show. Absolutely. Now, we met as youth organizers back in 2017, 2018, right? It's a while ago. And we've really been following each other since then. And I've really been fascinated to really see your growth over the years. Now, what inspired you to become your own brand?
Oh, that's a very good question. Essentially, I wanted to make the world a better place. So not too long after leaving YUC and graduating, I went to Drexel for computer science. And around that time is when I kind of had like a light bulb moment. The world needs more love. And I kind of dedicated the rest of my time here to figuring out how to push that mission forward and pretty much make the world a better place through self-love and through connection. Later on, I would say maybe 2020, after developing Live and Love Boutique, I started to get a better understanding of what it would look like. So I started to do journaling sessions and making different self-care products and doing more community-oriented events. And yeah.
I love, obviously, the concept of self-love is something that I have been trying to practice for a long time, and many people try to practice, especially in the age of a lot of social media.
Mm-hmm.
But it can be difficult when you don't really have direction or you don't feel like you have a guide to help you learn how to love yourself and learn what self-love is. Now, I do see that I've seen on your Instagram page that you refer to yourself as a creatress. So, what is that? And, give us some more insight into that title.
Okay, so honestly, I did have creator, and then creatress is the more feminine version of such. To me, I feel like we are created in the creator's image, that being whoever you deem as God, the source, the Most High, and they are, by nature, a creator. So being created in their image, we too are creators and creatresses, and we are living in our best selves when we are living in our creativity. And that can look like anything. Like anything you put your signature on, you are creating. You're creating this conversation in this environment by initiating this talk.
I love that. And, pretty much, even if we just, let's say, I don't know, I make some food. Even if it's just for nourishment and to take care of myself, it's I'm creating.
Yes.
I'm making something and transferring energy.
Yes, that is
in
a very
this
big
moment.
one.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
definitely. So, obviously, it's not hard to be not hard. It's not easy to be an entrepreneur. It's not easy to really navigate developing your own brand and getting the word out about your creativity and what you do. So what have been some of the successes and challenges of being a creative entrepreneur?
Honestly, one of the things that I love about my brand is that it's based on self-love, and the three pillars are free expression, mindfulness, and psychology. So these are things that you kind of promote by just being, because I feel like self-love is loving yourself in all aspects, and that's just, you show that to the world. That could be you being happy, you being sad, you just going through daily life and loving yourself through it all. So there's not much that you have to remember to do in order to do that. But one of the things that doesn't come so easy to me is promotion and marketing. I am more of the just doing part and not so much of the talk about and promote part. So the way that I have grown in that area is to make friends, connect with community. There are so many people who have similar mindsets and ideas. Shouts out to Sheen Anthony. Shouts out to the creative community. Um, Shouts out to Art Oblum. Like, there are so many collectives who can help you in those different aspects, whether it be intentionally or whether it be through someone that's through another person, if that makes sense.
No, it does, and I'm very familiar with Art Album as the one of the co-creators of that collective. Was also an organizer with us at Youth United for Change. But I love that you kind of brought up the point of that network and that creative community network in Philly, because like my next question is like, what has been your experience with the young creative community of Philly?
Oh, that's a great question. My experience, the first thing that comes to mind is like when I first started to join the creative community of Philadelphia, that was through our album. And that was where I started to do like open mics and hosting events, started to do interviews for the first time. And it's just a lot of talent in Philadelphia, which inspired me to start a podcast called Art Exhibit Podcast, interviewing those artists. And it's just so much unique, untouched talent, like in these people. By them, I don't even think they know. Like, somebody could just walk up and have an amazing style, and I'm like, you could be a stylist. Or the way you speak is just so elegant. Like, you could be a poet, you could be a singer. And that's one thing I love about existing in those environments, is just to shine a light on people's internal light.
Absolutely. And I would definitely agree that even though I kind of like on the ins, what's it called, like outskirts, but also on the end of the creative community, the spaces that I have been in, I find so many people who are like great comics, like artists, whether that is like tactical or tactile, is that the word? Textile. Whether it's like textile.
I'm not that good with the words either. I
I'm
know
not
what you
good
mean.
with words tonight. But whether it's like visual or audio, or maybe they do video production, I noticed that there is a strong creative community in Philadelphia. And it's just getting connected with the right people in order to make our creative community more visible. And that kind of has me trying to understand when it comes to the city of Philadelphia's involvement with the creative community. So like right now, there's not a large budget for the arts in Philadelphia. I think in 2020, they were going to cut the arts budget. It was only $1 million, and I don't know like how much is allocated towards the arts in Philadelphia right now, but the arts and funding for the arts have constantly been under attack in Philadelphia. Yeah. And PhillyCAM is an organization that like benefits from that type of funding. And so I'm like, what are some resources you'd like to see from the city of Philadelphia in pouring into the art community?
I think that's a really great question. Like you said, when these things happen where you can't count on certain things, it's good to lean into community. But I guess what I would like to see ideally is like those resources put back to where they were. Like, I remember being in school and having music class and different art classes and extracurricular activities that I would say were kind of sparse back then, and now they're like non-existent. So that would be a great start. Also, the city can connect with different community organizers and community builders who already have those things in place. There are organizations that are already doing art therapy, that are already holding space for young creatives. So connect to the people in the community and work together.
Thank you. That's a really good point. So I feel like my last question is going to really be about where could people find more about you, where they can follow you, and like what are some of the experiences that you and your network provides to the community?
You can follow me on Instagram at Maya, Maya, Keeyana, Keeyana. And you can also be on the lookout for an event called Live, Love, Create, which is a space that me and my brother Sheen Anthony, who is an amazing creator himself, we co-host this space every other month. It's a space to just be. We call it a pit stop on the journey of life. and we do a bunch of different things, including journaling, collective painting, and we have a community sponsor at the event do a workshop if they're choosing to share whatever resources that they would like to share with the attendees as well.
Can you remind us what day and time that'll be?
Thank you. That will be November 23rd, 1:11 to 5:55 at Serify Studios, which is 939 North Front Street.
Thank you so much again for joining us tonight, Maya. I actually enjoyed talking to you, and I hope that we can have like a longer conversation.
Yes.
Thank you all, and I'm going to send it back to Kennedy.